Ambassador Nicholson, thank you so much for being with us for this personal discussion about your prayer life. What was it like growing up with 7 siblings? Unusual for today.
It was pretty difficult initially. When the war ended and everybody came home, including my father, housing was very scarce, and we ended up being homeless. And there were then 5 kids in my family. And we moved out in rural Iowa to an abandoned farmhouse. No electricity, no plumbing, rat infested. But we had a roof over our head, and my mother convened us every evening around a kerosene lantern to say the rosary together and to tell us that we had to endure and that with our faith we could get through this if we prayed hard and worked hard and studied hard. We went to a little rural school nearby, and she was right. All 7 of us ended up going to college. The brother was an Army general, 3 teachers.
Wow.
The coach, a social worker, and a professional welder.
Wow.
And now we're back together, all 7 of us, still alive, still in the church, and now saying the rosary together again using the miracles of modern communications.
So then your family prayer life was intense, and it was a gift that was given to you by your mother. Did you always keep the faith, and did your siblings also always keep the faith?
We did. We did, and all of us are still in the church, and I don't think any one of us ever really left the church. I mean, it's not that we've all been saints. My sisters are saints, my 3 sisters. But my brothers and I, everybody's had their trials and tribulations in life. But I think everybody stayed in the church, and I can't say that about all the offspring. We have their 20 nieces and nephews, but they're, as far as I know, they're religious, and I think that all stems from my mother, whose possession of faith was extraordinary. And I mean, our living conditions were very difficult. We often didn't have enough to eat.
Wow.
But she held us together. When sometimes the social service people, such as they were then, kind of wanted to break us up.
So then what motivated you to start this prayer rosary during COVID virtually through the magic of Zoom, as you said? What was the motivation behind that? Coming back together, reaching out to each other?
You know, we have these memories of praying and praying together, but it had been a long time. But actually, it was my brother Patrick and my sister Donna who were talking together, and we always try to have a sibling reunion, and the pandemic intervened there. So they said, well, let's do what we can and convene electronically. And for an hour each week, and we start out with what we call the organ recital, which is where we go around, people give their health report.
The organ recital.
and then we say the rosary, and every Wednesday, the glorious mysteries, and then have a subject that we discuss. Every 7th week, one is responsible for the program, and we've had very interesting programs. We've had priests on there talking about apologetics. We've had other people on to witness the faith of their life. A nephew who's a doctor at the Mayo Clinic talking about pain management. I have a nephew who's a 4-star general commander in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Talking about his responsibilities. So they're mixed with good substance, but always starting out with a rosary.
Prayer and formation.
Yeah.
Is this something that you decided to keep going just because it was more convenient, or because there was something powerful that was happening with that?
Well, I think the enthusiasm about it is growing. I mean, people look forward to it every Wednesday. And now we have others joining us, nieces and nephews, and some of them stay for the substantive discussion, and I think others have to leave. But they're on there pray together.
That's beautiful. At least they come in for prayer, which is, as you were saying, you're not sure exactly where everyone is in their faith journey, but you have an open invitation for every member of your family. Do you think that this is something others could replicate, that this example is one that some may have thought, okay, the pandemic's over, I don't have to do this anymore? Are you encouraging people to continue this?
Well, indeed. And it's so simple and so easy, but so meaningful, and I think it has great potential, and I like to talk about it. I'm sort of an evangelist anyway, because I think the church needs a lot of evangelism, but this is a wonderful new use of a social medium to get people together and pray together in a real personal way among family. And I think the other thing it has the potential to do is that where there's tension in a family, it is sort of a neutral forum for them to come and be together and praying together, even though they may have an edge for each other, which is not the case in my family, fortunately, but I know of a lot of other families. So it's a wonderful opportunity to evangelize and to do apologetics.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The idea that you, no matter what you're feeling, are going to come together to pray. Mm-hmm. And you can put aside the disagreements, put aside everything that you might not want to talk about, but that keeps you apart, to prioritize prayer, which does bring us together. Is there any message that you have, any encouragement that you have for people who are just scared or worried about starting something like this with their families? Was it an easy transition for you, or is there something that you did or that maybe your siblings did to make it easy?
It's very easy. You got to get someone to volunteer to be sort of the producer or the engineer, to arrange the Zoom and the number, and then all you have to do every week is dial in, hit Zoom and dial 10 digits. And you're there, and a screen opens up, and there are your siblings or your family or whomever you've decided to be with. It's a wonderful opportunity, and then someone takes the lead, leads the rosary, maybe leads the petitions that we have for the day, for the week. It's just a great opportunity out there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for sharing it. I hope that other people will follow your example.
Thank you for having me.